Hey. All right, well, I should be muted now. No, all right, we got a few on. Let's see how we're doing. I'll start the recording here. Okay, hey guys, PK. All right, so I think I'm better now. With mic check, right? We're good there. Vertic and PK should be okay. Still hearing your Discord messages. Shit. Oh, hang on. Maybe it's over. I think that's from the other machine. Oh man, yeah, it's very nice of you to say. You guys, little things like that actually really make my day. Still hearing your Discord messages. You aren't shit. Okay, hang on, guys. I got to see if I can get my Discord messages muted. I think I can mute there. That should do it. Still hearing your Discord. Right? Just put yourself busy. Okay. So, that's the way to do it. Okay. Do not disturb. Okay, let's do it that way. I do get a lot of messages. Okay, guys. So, how are we doing here? All right, I got to get so I can see you guys. Excuse me. Okay, so Antonio and Marissa, man, he's making my day, right? Just little things like that to know that it's not all just talking into a microphone. So I appreciate when people give me that kind of feedback, so I know I'm trying to help some people. Okay, so how are we doing here? Is it go time? Yeah, 11:30. Okay, so let's. We can edit this initial chit chat out, I think. All right, disclaimer. All right, everybody knows this is educational purpose only. Okay, let's get it out of there. All right, hey guys. What is today? Wednesday the 10th. Happy Wednesday. Well, I got a good lineup here. Let me get over to one of the guys here. Oh shit, I gotta find it. Hang with me. There's my charts. Okay, so first up, I've got a submission here this is one of our senpeis, right? Not on his way to sensei, but still in a learning mode, but helps me tremendously. And has been really working on his Elliott Wave skills. So this is senpei. Everybody knows him as George, but he goes by GZ 1968, revealing his, I think that's his birth year. I'm guessing. Excuse me. All right. So this is actually I'm glad he posted this here for a couple of reasons. One, I was watching this. Well, of course, I mean anything AI related, it's just insane. I mean, the hyperbole. I don't know if it is hyperbole, but I see people making comments that you don't often see, like the greatest revolution since the iPhone or since the cell phone. I mean, just amazingly bullish commentary. So anything AI related is going to be intriguing. I would imagine many of you saw some of the commentary about Palantir's earnings the other day. Just AI enthusiasm is crazy. So AI and crypto seems like that's a match made in heaven. Potentially, we'll see. Use case is always the issue with crypto. So here we have, we doing everybody good here? Okay, you guys went kind of quiet, but like we got 25 of you on so far. So this is SingularityNET. Now I did this on BitGet, which I'm prone to do since they sponsor our channel, and I didn't have full history here. The only place you can get full history is on KuCoin. Shit, I don't know. KuCoin. Which I did the same thing. So I actually took this. I'm actually in this trade, which I'll show in a minute. So, but here, coming off of the low here, let's just dig in as we do here. I guess any preliminary counsel, you guys know the idea here. Members submit their charts. We go through it. Hopefully there's a setup idea or something we can come to, and so it's a little bit of a teaching. Possibly, right? Some of these guys, they don't need it. Well, my commentary is wow, beautiful setup. Some of them, there can be a little. Okay, maybe they overcomplicate, or this one's an example. Now with George, right? I respect what he's doing here because because he's still in the learning mode. He goes after every swing. I mean, every swing. To his credit, so he's trying to dig in here and get a full accounting of the entire correction. So you see the nice work that he's done here. Oh, I guess we'll push this off a little bit. So okay, so pretty long rambling correction from our highs here. We are in log scale. Let's note that, right? So anyone who's following along, we are in log scale. I mean, this is good work. I'm going to show you my chart because I have the same thing. This is just more work than I think you need to put into it, unless you're a student, as he is, because he's really accounting for everything. So the A. Geez, this is good work, George. Okay, so we got to call this, it doesn't even really need to be labeled. Oh, this is class. This looks like a triangle. So it looks like you'd probably have to dig some sort of, I don't know that it even matters, A, B, C into this. I think so it's not quite long enough. Would you give that a 5? Oh, shit. It's to some degree, right? So when you're backtracking, I don't know that it really matters, right? How detailed we get in that. It's a 3, right? So it would have been easy sitting right here to think, very easy. And this is, the challenges of this is not just Elliott Wave. It's just the market in general, right? So you would have been easy to be thinking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. I got my 1. So I've got my 3 in. We'd likely you'd call it a flat of some sort. And I've got my 1. So right here, you'd be thinking, here we go. Right. But this is, see, I look at this and I go, okay, well, this is just a great example of how Elliott Wave is kind of guiding you in the context of, if not this, then that. And if not that, then this. So you've got that happening here. Let's get this right on these pivots here. Excuse me. So, I mean, it looks like that's a clear 5. It looks like it's an impulse, and we're correct, right? But we don't get any, and it just keeps rolling over. So even if you were here, which would have been very, very, very easy, right, to be thinking, oh, here we are. Listen, right here it is. Oh, God damn it, come here. Right there. We're at the golden zone. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So here's where that idea falls apart, because 1, 2, 1. I don't get it, right? It rolls over here. Now I've got an impulse going down. So on the one hand, I hope this is where it gets meaningful, right? Okay, so if you took this trade, which would have been an incredibly valid trade, right? I mean, if you got stopped out here, you wouldn't be kicking yourself going, God, I'm a dumbass. What the hell was I thinking, right? Oh, obviously it's going down. You wouldn't. That's just a trade that doesn't fly, right? I mean, well, shit. I mean, you probably got a little bit out of it, perhaps enough room to tighten up that stop, right? So the impact here should have been very minimal if you took that trade, right, which would have been very valid. Now, I don't know that he did. I haven't been watching it until just recently, but I can just look at it here and say, oh, God, look how perfect. And you're thinking, off you go. Well, it rolls over. You're going to take a small loser here. So there's a good example of why you wouldn't, if you're taking this trade and you've got, okay, let's use a first target, you wouldn't put your stop under this pivot. That is just asking to get spanked. look at your risk reward? You know, 3 to 1 there. I guess in log scale it'd be a little bit better. But why take all that risk? The premise of the trade would be that the correction is over here. So why on earth? The only reason you do that is just ego or just inexperience, right? Oh, I don't want to get stopped out. Stops out. Stop out. It's bad. I don't want to get stopped out. It's really not the way to think of a stop, right? If anything, you've got to turn that negative into a positive. So if you were to take that trade and get stopped out, your only rational interpretation of that is, well, thank God my stop did its job. Okay, next trade. It's simple as that. Okay, that one didn't work out. What's next? Oh, is there anything here that I can ascertain from this? Oh, well, okay. Clearly the correction wasn't over here. So what's left? Are we going complex? Well, now you start to put some geometry on it, and it starts to look like, hey, maybe this is WX. Well, what else would you be thinking, right? You've had this must be me. I've had a 3. I don't get what I was anticipating. I mean, again, if not this, then what, right? So if we're going to keep going, knowing corrections are made of 3s, wouldn't this be the logical? Right? Wouldn't that be what you'd be thinking? So now the question becomes, okay, are we done down here? Well, this is where all that detail work pays off, right? So could we be done here? Yeah, we could. Looks like he likes it a little bit lower. I'm already in it. Again, but maybe a little bit less. Let's see how he's doing this. 1, 2, 3. That looks decent. Well, you see what he's run into here. This is some good work, right? So he's learning. He's getting better, right? So W. Oh shit! That's a pain. Well, so again, I don't know that he'd have known this, right? So you probably put this off just a touch here, right? Something closer to that. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E. I might have done it that way, right? So you get the descending triangle. Oh, again, this is a little bit of, well, you've got this to deal with. So, okay, what do you got here? Is this an A, B, C? Kind of looks like it. Down. There's no separation here. Triangle. We can end it. We can end a triangle here into the Y. That gives us the 4. Now, okay. Well, let's go with it. This looks like classic 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be more detail than you need here. So okay, well let's look here. So if this has got another leg per his count, which is perfectly valid. Let me get what do I want here? Let's get just a basic. Okay, so we come to the 34. Looks like a 3. Sweet, right? It looks all quite good, right? So coming from here, the key to this piece here, which I might count this just a little bit differently. I'd probably do it this way, although that's not much of a 3. Well, let's stick with his plan. Okay, so here you got to deal with that. Now I'm on a 4 hour. Let's go with it. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we done? Well, it looks like we got the 3 in, 3 into the 4. One more down here. Looks like that's pretty reasonable. You've come right into the, right, we got an order block right here, right? So a little hesitation, more like a drop-based drop, right? So you've got a little hesitation block right here. Wick comes into it. Now, if we roll over again, boy, what a nice setup here. So you got a couple of choices. One is you let it come down here, see what happens. Okay, do we get a reaction, right? Which is always what I would suggest. Don't try and pick the turn. Never, ever is there a need to do that, other than you want to be a hero, right? Just post it on Twitter, whatever, right? There's never any reason to do it, ever. Now stop for a second. Are you doing it? Are you trying to pick the turn? Why? Why would you take the risk to pick the turn rather than get the confirm of the reaction? Now we're on a 4. You go down to a 15-minute, just get some little something, right? something to say, oh, okay, I've had at the very least, oh, I get a few bullish changes of character. Because as we're coming down here, lower low, oh, let's start here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? It's just straight all the way down. Now here I get a little bit of a break, right? So here's like, I'm rusty. Okay, so there's a little, oh, all of a sudden it's not lower lows, lower highs. I get a little break here, but yeah, I need that for the 4. So that little change of character isn't like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's just buy it, let's just go hard here, right? You don't have the start of it. Does that look like the start of an impulse? I mean, could it turn into an impulse? Well, I suppose maybe some sort of tiny little diag or some shit could start there. My broader point is you don't ever, ever, ever need to do that. Why? Seriously, if you're a money manager and you've got to justify the risks that you're taking, how would you justify that you're picking the turn there? But the larger point is, let's say it turns here. Okay, well, again, I'll leave the subdivision out of it. At some point, there's no telling how high it goes. There's gonna be a retracement. If you're a retracement trader, you might see that thing going, oh fuck, god damn it, I should have. Right? You can beat yourself up that way. But there is no market that hasn't retraced, right? Eventually, because the temptation is too great for the people to catch it. A little bit of weakness and trailing stops are getting hit. Oh, it's going to go again. Oh shit, right? Then these guys get stopped out. That's what you're waiting for here. Now think about it. If it's 1, 2, the 3 is going to be at least as long. Well, right? We could have an extension in the 1, right? So, for the most part, we know that if I catch the 1, 2. See, you're basically saying, okay, well, I have to catch every swing. I have to catch the 1 wave. And then, right, so this is what we do in our mind's eye. And this is why it's just silly to do it this way. Oh, I'm going to catch the 1, but then I'm going to get out because I'll know to get out because I'll be able to be that disciplined that my greed glands won't be running and I won't be thinking this. I won't be thinking that. I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to take it right to the golden zone. I'm just going to take my profit. Now, maybe you will. But at least, well, again, statistically, likely 50% of that gain is going to be given back. So if you're a buyer down here, I mean, what did you not get? 10%, 20%? It's just not worth it. And then additionally, once I get here, where's my stop? Now I'm trading logically. Yes, it could come right to 1 tick below that and still be the 3rd. But for the most part, I can do the math and say, okay, well, looking at that, all right, I can risk this much to make that much. So if I'm here, put it together. This is, I think, I don't know, maybe it's just from doing it for a long time. Okay, so now I can put that thing together. Come back here. 9 to 1. What else can I do? See, once I get the turn, now I can build on it. Oh, hey, now I can build on it. Now, that doesn't mean that this can't do that. It just means that I can be more strategic about how I approach any risk exposure in the market. So then it becomes, if let's say you're a professional trader, you've got to justify all your trades, right? If you get stopped out here, just like we showed back here, if you got stopped out here thinking, oh, the correction's over at 1, 2, 3, oh, it's going to go. You at least, whether you're reporting this to somebody or reporting it to yourself or your wife or whomever, or your husband, here, at least you can look at this and say, well, I set this thing up perfectly. I had good risk reward. I had just what I liked. I had the right conditions here. I had a pivot that I was working up from. I had the correction. I had a 5 followed by a 3. Oh, don't fuck with me here, TradingView. Come on. There we go. Okay, I think we're back. Hey, what is going on here, TradingView? Hang on, guys. TradingView is locking up on me. Oh, it kind of blew the train of thought there, but I think you get the idea here. While I hope it's coming back here. There we go. Okay. Jeez, that was frustrating. Okay, let's put it back this way. Okay, now I'll bring it up just a tad, right? We'll call it a golden. Now, if I have to report this to myself or to whomever, maybe you got a trading buddy, or maybe you're working on your purple belt and your 2s and 3s. Okay, well, you're going for the 3 here. I got a 9.3 to 1, right? Oh shit, let's bring it down here. Let's say we're going to get the 1618. So there's 8.26 to 1. Logical. Money management's appropriate. I'm working off of more than just, I think that's the low. I've got a pattern I can identify. I can put some market geometry around it. I can be very practical about the risk reward. Why are people still trying to pick the turn? Why would you do that? I'm not being glib when I say that. Literally, ask yourself, why are you trying to pick the turn? When the majority of the money is all made right here in the third wave. Right? That's the money ball. So what? Because I wanted to get. I suppose you could take it down to a smaller level and say, I wanted to get the 3 of the 1. Well, okay, I'm not saying don't do that, right? So here's the money ball in there. Well, you're playing. Do you want to trade that much, right? Do you want to try and catch every swing? Is that really, for the most part, what we're trying to teach you is something that could take a week, a month, not more, rather than, certainly there's a place for it. I day trade every day. I don't happen to do it in something like this, but for a position trade like this, okay, maybe you want to get that 3, maybe that's what you're after here. You're down here doing it. Shit, let's see if we can put that together. Maybe you're down here doing that, trying to get that 3. Okay, I got 3 to 1. Man, you better be all over the market all day long every day if that's how you're trying to approach the market. That's why most of the thing, and this is very consistent with what we try and teach you, is that Elliott Wave is most effective 60 minutes and above. I'd almost tell you 4 hours and above. That's where, and it shouldn't be so fucking hard to figure it out. When Elliott Wave is most effective, it's drop dead like a 7th grader could get it. It's like 5 followed by 3. That's when it's most effective. When you're grinding it out in here, WXY into a reverse upside down pineapple, correction, it can be a little overwhelming, and you can kind of lose where's the real power of it when it's simple. There's a lot of complexity here, which again, he's a student learning, right? So that's part of it here. But for the average trader here, it should be, okay, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If you can't count that or can't clearly explain it to someone, excuse me, do you want that trade that much? Where so maybe there's complexity down here. You get the pivot and we come off here and we get the 5 followed by the 3. That's a trade anyone can take, right? This is not hard, right? That's one you can take. George gave me this giant arrow. I'm used to working with that. Maybe that's too much. All right, here's one. This is the one you want to look for, right there. Keep it simple. Now, in no way am I being disrespectful to the work he's put into this, because I can tell he put a lot of work into it. Try and simplify it. And it's funny, when you're learning it, your tendency is to complicate it. Oh, there's a WXYXZ into that triangle third. That's the kind of shit that you kind of get caught up in that. The longer I trade, the simpler I want to make it. I went through that whole phase too, where, I see it. It's a WXYX into the triangle B. That can get, there's a place for that. I just remind you, when Elliott is most effective, you can explain it to a 7-year-old. All right, so this is the trade I'm in, and I just happen to be. I'm saying this partly for Pizza Man when he listens to this, and a few of the other purples that are waiting. So we're in the final. I've got some more to do on it here. So, but part of the reason I've been a little absent in the Discord here is we're working on finishing up the brown belt. Excuse me. Sorry guys. Excuse me. Which is there's some complexity to it. So this just happened to be a trade I used as an example for journaling in the brown belt. And so, here's the setup of it. So I took it here off of the structure. Again, now note here, like this is all I have into it is the WXY. Now, I'm not saying that's better. I'm just not what I'm saying. I'm saying just looking at that as we come into this here with this, I just see a 3 here. We're coming into all this structure here. So there's the trade, right? So here's the, you can literally, it's framed for the brown belt test as an example. I think I was using, actually, I was demonstrating how to use this and then put it into a journal. But I mean, a perfectly reasonable trade, right? I mean, we got 13.52 to 1. There's the target. Here's the risk. It's up 180 bucks so far. Okay, does that mean I've got the low? Not necessarily, right? Again, I'm working off the daily here. So when you're back here grinding down to these lower levels here, could we be done here? Well, you got to count it a little bit differently. And it's very possible this rolls over again, right? Which I don't see, I wouldn't see down here, right? But I'm comfortable, I'm watching this order block here. I'm comfortable with that support down here. Here's my stop, right? Decent example. So at a higher distance like this, okay, there needs to be a little bit less of this granular play. When you're really trying to nail the turn, right? I mean, if we come back down here, I don't know that I would necessarily add here. I'd be looking for evidence of that starting to come out of there. And then I would likely be looking to add here. Right? So if I get a little push out of here, there's an order block down here. I come back down to it. So I'd have change of character. Well, come here, right here. I'd have this pushing, then I'd have a little bit of change of character right here, coming down here into an order block, then you'd come back this direction, say, oh, change of character here, and off you go. There's a logic to this, and that's why market structure fits in so nicely with Elliott Wave. Okay, here we go, A, B, C, here we go. Good work, George. I think that's one that any one of you guys, oh, that's the copy here. This is the one any one of you guys can be latching onto. Question is, are you trying to swing trade it? Are you trying to position trade it for something longer term? Two different approaches there. Up to you as to how granular you want to get into each of the swing detail. That's one to be watching. I think that's got some real upside potential. Okay, so let's go. Pizza Man. There's Pizza Man. It's coming, Pizza Man. I promise you. We're making steady progress on it, but there's a lot to it. Okay, so Pizza Man's giving me Tilray. This is one I think he's traded quite a bit. Remember from earlier in the year. Excuse me. Okay, Tilray, bear with me here, guys. Okay, we're back on. Let's make a copy of it. Okay, Tilray. No, I don't want to connect paper trading. That was for the brown belt demo. Okay, Tilray. Okay, I already like what I see. Okay, so nice use of channeling. All right, so we've got, here's our IPO. Good use of geometry and channeling. Okay, so coming down here, does it look like we're done for Tilray? Oh, shit. Here's the 4, right? We're looking to finish in a 5. Looks like he's got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So into the 1, this is a good setup, right? So this is just the kind of thing I like to see posted. So it's a good demonstration of our methodology. Working through a count here, that gives us a 4, A, B, C, right? So that's good. So let's look where the 4 came in, as well as a good potential setup. So let's check this just out of curiosity, right? See how we're doing in terms of where you would anticipate, right? So where do we anticipate the 4? Not only that, look at it split the Vegas wave, right? So between the 23 and the 38, right? We get a wick through. Well, probably a little pause there, coming back into that resistance. Nice. Then it comes down for the 5, A, B. Oh, how are we doing that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the C. So you got to work that as an A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1 is off. All right, so this is good example. Oh shit, good example of exactly what we're talking about. On the last one, Okay, you do not need to buy it right here, although you could have. I mean, look, do you see that in there? Come here. Right, so I've got a swing and I get a higher low. Off we go. Right, I mean that's if you want to be in, let's label it. If you want to be into the minutia of it and try and trade each, so you don't know if that where that's. Well, we can kind of look at that. Let's go down. So you might. He's giving me a daily here. Let's see what that 3 looks like. So how can we use things that we know? Well, where's the most common location, right? So if that's the 1, that's the 2. Well, that's a pretty good kick. And the 3, here 3, 4. And maybe we're going here. There's not enough there. Let's go to a 4. See if we get anything a little more detail there. Good chance, right? You've got this, right? 2618 would be a reasonable target where you'd have that geometry. Excuse me, guys. So let's come down here. Allergies are bad. Okay. All right, so we can use that pivot here, right? We don't want to see it come back down here. It looks like we've got an impulse underway for a 1. Now, if you were looking for a trade, Tilray trade looks pretty good here. So what would we be anticipating next? 50% of that to come back. That's what you're anticipating. Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, but that's what you're anticipating. So, it looks like you got a little order block here you could work with, right? So coming back down here into that 2. 1, 2. Okay, once I've got a 1, 2, what else can I do? Right now I don't have that yet. Now I can start to put something together. Now I've got the framework for a trade that I can put on, with very reasonable risk reward. Because at the end of the day, the focus can't be on, God, I hope I get that right. It's how much can I lose if I'm wrong? That's what the focus really should always be on. So let's give it some reasonable targets. I don't have this. I'm just ballparking. All right, so if I was looking for a 3 on this, wouldn't I want to use the high probability location? Say, okay, that's a good target for a 5. Right, remember, this is the 1 of the 1. If indeed the pivot is in down here. If that's it, okay. Oh, there's your trade. This is not rocket science. Like, he did all the work for me to give me the setup. And I don't quite have that 5th in just yet. Looks like you might. Well, okay, so let's evaluate. Where is it likely to run into? Where is it likely to run into resistance? If you had to guess, golden zone, wouldn't that be your first thought? Like, well, we got to see what happens at the golden zone. Right, because that's where bears, right? Again, it's not a guy sitting there with a button going, oh, time to fuck these longs. It's just software. Okay, so I can put together a trade. You want to give it all the way to the pivot? I don't know that I would, but you could. There's 4 to 1. I'd go to the edge of that value area there, right to the edge of that. So I got 7 to 1, very low risk. Now, if that comes down, you get stopped out. The point is not to go, oh, fuck, well, screw Tilray. It's okay. Do we hold the low? If we do hold the low, do I want to go again? Right? Maybe I just get a deeper 2 here. Right? I mean, we can go 1 tick off of that low and still have a 2. It's uncommon because, well, why is it uncommon? Because if they get that, what's down here, right? Every pivot is liquidity, right? We know that. So if they get that close, they're likely that gets swept, right? So you'd have another pivot down here, so you couldn't have the 5. You'd have to roll over here and say, okay, well, something else happened. Maybe I've got to reconsider the count here. Well, you would, right, if you take out that low. So you're working off of the premise that the low is in, right? This is the entire premise of why you'd be looking here. The low is in. Now, we don't know that, but that's the premise of putting together the whole trade. So you want to give it that much? Okay, 4 to 1. I don't know that I would, right? Why? No need to. 1, 2. If I get stopped out, I'll reevaluate down here. Do I still like it? Or maybe I want to wait and see, let this come out of here and maybe pick it up a little bit higher as a POC, something along these lines. I mean, I don't know what we're going to get here, but the foundation for putting a trade is there, right? I need one more little kick to tell me I got my 5. Then I can really lean into this. Now you're just waiting, right? Now this is the annoying part of it. You got to sit patiently and wait. And this could keep going. Nothing says it has to stop there. It could keep going. And now you're going, God damn it, I shoulda. You got to eliminate shoulda from your vocabulary. It does nothing but harm you mentally. I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. That's got to be removed from your vocabulary. It's nothing but self-harm. Right? All you're doing is fucking your head up. Again, we're back to, and this is funny. This is a big part of what we're doing in the brown belt, right? So each trade, there has to be, again, you got to answer to someone, right? It's so easy to just go, fuck it, next trade or whatever, right? But if you're held accountable, whether you're accountable to yourself, to your significant other, if you're working with capital, okay, honey, right, I'm going to take this 20 grand and we're going to turn it into 50 grand. You got to be accountable to somebody. Maybe your accountant. Somebody's going to look at it and say, well, how'd the trading go? Well, not so good, right? It didn't go too well. Why? Well, I could have made some money on Singularity and Tilray, but I would have. I should have. That, right? Like, so I'm being silly to make the point, right? Who are you accountable to? Anyone? Right? It's easy to fuck around and say, I'll get it on the next one, right? But if you go through that process, what's the point of doing all this? So that you don't repeat mistakes, right? You're going to make them. Everybody makes them. I still make them. 30 years. Not quite. 29. It's almost 30 years of doing this. I still make mistakes on a regular basis. And if I catch myself, God damn it, I should have. You got to nip that. Next trade. What can I learn from the last trade? What could I have done differently? And at the end of the day, the answer should be nothing. I wouldn't do that any differently. That's when there's a conviction and a confidence level when you can say, I wouldn't do that trade even the slightest bit differently. When you can say that, you're on your way. Right? And it should be trade after trade after trade, regardless of the outcome. Because if you focus on that, you hold yourself accountable and you reduce the number of mistakes because you're going to continue to make them, all of a sudden you're going to see your results start to improve. And it may not be that your win rate improves, but your risk reward is going to improve. Maybe you take this trade and you get out early. Oh, I should have let it run. I knew the wave 3 was there. I could have let it run. I would have let it run, but I got stopped out on the last one and I really wanted to get back a little bit. So I wanted to make $200 here, even though I'm down $5,000. I wanted to get that 200. Let it run. If you're uncomfortable here, take a partial. If you've got a trade plan put together, don't sabotage your plan until you're forced to, until something changes. A, B, oh, fuck, W, X, Y, deeper 2. Okay. Do I like it down here? It's a repetitive process, but the little nuances of it are what make the difference. Because if it's woulda, shoulda, coulda, then you're second guessing your methodology on each trade. Careful of that. Oh shit! I'll get you out of there. Okay. All right, boy. Worried today. Okay, Pizza Man, that's a great setup. Thanks for that. That's really one to watch. Let's see if we get that 5. That's one to get on your watch list. For those of you that trade traditionals, right? Which we get pigeonholed as being crypto traders. I could care less. What chart's a chart. The crypto, traditional, futures, commodity. I don't care what it is, right? They all trade exactly the same way because we all do the same things. Okay, thanks, Pizza Man. I'm gonna get that brown belt for you only. I know I owe it to you. Okay, so there's this is a new member here. I don't know how I say that. Stirs, I guess. Stirs. Let's go here. Okay, Stirs. What are you thinking? Oh, that looks like a holdover from People used to work with me. Okay, so let's copy this. So maybe you're not a new member. Maybe just the first time you've been. I don't want paper trading. I'm not doing that. Okay, Rocket Pool Protocol against Wrappped ETH. It's we're getting pretty esoteric here in the choices, but look how pretty this is. So okay, so if someone told you, oh, I want you to look at Rocket Pool Protocol against Wrappped ETH, would you expect to find a perfect Elliott symmetry? Maybe, maybe not. All right, but to my point, what it is does not matter. Again, this could be a 1 minute of corn. This could be a 5 minute of the Dow, right? I mean, it could be crude. It never matters what the underlying asset is. It does not matter. It's not like, oh, crypto, bigger payoff. Okay, well, so things that can matter. How much leverage can you get? How much leverage do you want? Right? Are you trading the underlying in equities? Okay, well, that's less leverage. You want to go to the options? Okay, well, you better understand time decay. I mean, there are variables to it. There are variables to it, but at the end of the day, excuse me, I got a 5, followed by a 3, followed by a 5, followed by we'll get there. Got to be a 3, followed by a 5. In Rocket Pool Protocol to Wrappped ETH, right? I guess I'm making my point, right? Underlying does not matter. Okay, so just oh god, this is too juicy not to check it. That is a corner pocket getting its 80%, right? Not a golden. Boom. Oh, come on, man. The median lines aren't going to work in Rocket Protocol to Wrappped ETH. No, that would never. You'd never. That 80% won't be there. That's only the NASDAQ does that. Only Microsoft does that. Only Bitcoin does that. I cannot. I've never seen this before. Never once have I ever brought up Rocket Protocol to Wrappped ETH. Does it matter? Does it matter? Does it matter? Does it? Does it? Apparently not, right? Why? Because people do the same thing. Algos are programmed the same way. Underlying asset makes zero difference. Zero. So I got 50 to the tick. You think algos are in here? Followed by 50 to the tick. What do we got here? A little front run here. Didn't quite get to the 50, but it's a 4. I'm not necessarily looking for the 50. I see a triple bottom is what I see there. All right, I'm going to just... okay, so this is something often I'll look at. Sorry, guys. Damn allergies. This is something. So when you're looking at a set of median lines, remember, you can just do this, right? That's what you've got here. Now, the target of the median lines, right? You would lose that here. I'm just gonna hide this. Oh shit! Let's hide that. Okay, so now I've got, because what I was trying to get to, because all the median line targets have been hit. Those 80% are realized. That doesn't mean that we can't go again to get it, right? It's always a target, but the 80% is tied to the first pivot, the first corner. That's your 80%, right? Excuse me. Now, could you put another one on here? Yeah, sure. Did you get it? Did you get your 80%? You sure did. Let's see if I can go back to template. Let's go default here. I'm just to simplify, right? So you free up a little screen real estate here. Okay, so I got corner pocket gets to target, followed by corner pocket that gets to target, followed by a 4 here. Is this a trade that we want? Well, let's get all this stuff out of here. Let's get all this out of here. That's his work. So we're good here. 1, 2. This is good. Look how pretty the Vegas wave. Very nice. Oh, what are we doing with that? Well, you'd have to use that. Yeah, let's move on to daily. Let's go to 4. Okay. Yeah, looks like, boy, that's a mess down there. Looks like you're gonna have to do. Looks like A, B, C. It looks like you got A, B, C right here. So, this is trying to simplify. 1, 2, 3. Do I want that internal? No, I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a C. So we have to go. Let's take that down. Now I'm not digging into every swing here. That you could have a. You're gonna have to use that. 3, 4, 5. So there's the ABC. Boy, this is a bit of a fucker. Let's see here. So it looks like we'd have to do A, W, X, Y. It looks like what you'd have to do there. PK can correct me if I've got that wrong. Looks like you'd have to, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got to use this as a C. So there has to be an ABC here into that ABC. So that actually looks like that could fly right there. So coming out of the gate, it's a little ugly. And let's go to 1. See if we can get something impulsive here. 1, 2, 3. That looks like a 4, 5. So looks like you've got this here. 1, 2. That's a skinny. I'm trying to get these up here. This, I'm going to leave that here. Let's see how technical we are here, right? So this is, if anything, hopefully, sorry guys, hopefully what you get out of here is just the process, right? So it's just the process. Okay, what can I see? Okay, could I be done here? Well, I could be done here. Okay, well, I mean, again, I can't make this shit up, right? Okay, so where would I look for the 2? I mean, again, it splits the golden zone, right? I mean, how many times have I shown that? 50,000 times. Again, can't make that up. Rocket pool wrapped ether. You think the algos are in here? Apparently so. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I got a. Boy, that's ugly though. It looks like you're stuck with it. Can we make that work as a? I'm not sure we can. Fucker. Well, here's one where you're a little bit on the. So 3 is longer than 1. 5 is definitely longer than 3. So you're kind of in between there. You don't really have clear Elliott. I'd still label it that way, right? I'd still look at this and say, okay, well, it's ugly. It's a rule. You're on the edge there of acceptable Elliott, but I don't see anything with what's come off of it. Shit, what else are you going to do with that? A, B, God, can you get? There's really no 2 into that. Well, you may just. I'd have to spend more time with that. I don't see any reason to dig too far deep into that. It's what is it? It's ugly Elliott, right? It's not always pretty. It's not always perfect. But with what's come off of that, which we can probably pretty easily run into a like that here with a big extension in the 5th. Impulsive. Doesn't look right. So this is kind of ugly Elliott, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a little bit choppy here. Now we're down to 1 hour here, so we're losing some of the. It's getting a little skinny on the volume. I would leave it like that for the time being here. You potentially, right? This is all corrective. Yeah, let's take some of that out here. This looks solid here, but you've got a possible ABC here. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B. I could have. Be wrong here. This might have to come over here. Pot. So I don't know that I would chase this. Come here. I don't know that I would chase this. 1, 2, 3 is a real candidate here because this is not a great looking one. And while this is good, I would not want to truncate here in some sort of. It looks like you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless you're going WXY. No, you can't. You're gonna have to live with that. This looks to me like you might. So this would be hesitation, right? So this you can hear it in my voice. That would be hesitation, which would keep me out of that until I get more clarity here. I don't know what. Again, I come back to there's so much to trade. Why would you ever take? There's so many choices. Why would you take something like I'm not sure. Not sure. If I'm not sure, why am I trading? Why am I going to put money at risk unless I've got something where I go bam, bam, bam. I see it. I got it. I know what should happen next. I don't know where I am here. Maybe. Jeez, come on. Not that much open. Now, let's look up here. What has he got? At the midline, right? So 50 at the midline could go either direction. Last pivot below. Right here, but that's not much of a launch, right? So in some ways, you look at that here, and this is way more reaction than you would anticipate here, right? We've got just this little fart right here, and this we kicked almost to the 80 on the RSI. This just looks to me like this is kind of like what Bitcoin has been doing. We're just kind of in a box here. I'd like to see that come out of that box a little bit. I don't know what I got here. It could easily go down here. Maybe we're going for a deeper two, something like that. 1, 2, 3. It looks like shit. It looks like that's an A wave right here. Looks like you got an A, B, C maybe coming. So WXY perhaps would be a reasonable candidate here. WXY coming down here deeper. Oh shit! Probably an order block right here. So you've got a contender for that to come down deeper. Right, all of this. We'll do it. Looking here, that would be an area I'd be interested in right now. Okay, so you say, well, shit, man, that'd be mighty low to invalidating the trade. Yeah, it would be. All right, well, perfect. Thank you for noticing. Right, so if you get, you're trying to get the discount range here, so you get something along those lines. Okay, if I can target. It wouldn't be a valid algo target. Let's take that out of there. Here, it would be something down here. You're just working off the order block here. Do I have any, a little change of character down here? So something down this, so I can put together 12 to 1. That's assuming, all right, I'm just going to get up here to the, let's think about it. Right? You're trying to go 1, 2, right? That's got more potential, something like that. Right now you got a 17 to 1. Why? So what's the attraction? The low risk, where you confirm that the correction is not done. Boy, if I can buy it down here, maybe say, oh, fuck, man, you can't buy it down there. Now look at how far that thing is coming down, right? It's definitely going to break. Man, they never get that close, right? It's definitely going to break. It looks like you got the same thing there. Order block right there. Oh, it would never do it again. It would never do it twice, right? So, because if I take it, I'll get stopped out. Well, if you did, right, you'd have to change your count. But don't shy away from something like that with 17 to 1. If you got filled down there, excuse me, the hardest part of that trade will be not taking profit, right? Letting it get there. You're going to be incredibly tempted. Oh my God, look how much! Look at the percentage return on my trade. Very tempting, right? If you feel that urge, like, oh man, I don't know, then it's going to come up to that pivot. Take a partial, because if this is 1, 2, it's not likely to go in a straight line to 3. There'll be a correction. There'll be a little opportunity to participate. It's a good one. All right, so interesting one. Let's get that back out of here. Let's go back to our. Interesting. Good one. Thanks for that one. Stirs, I think that's how I say that. Young Yan. Okay, Young Yan, right? He's a regular contributor. Always appreciate him. And does a lot of option trading. So let's see what he's thinking here. I can't see you guys. All right, there you are. Yeah, I am game Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dumping. Really? Is it? I'll take a peek. Holy shit. Okay, what are you giving me here? Yeah, I'm making the most use of his. Makes me think he's on a laptop. I do not want to connect. So he's getting max. He can get as much as he can. Okay, Young Yan. Gonna get very tight. Looking for a short. Uh-oh. Oh, this is his watch list. Interesting, right? You know you can do your watch list over here. Oh, shit. What are we looking at? Looking for short right now. This is my watch list for new positions currently. FTNT. Okay, FTNT. Yeah, shit. Okay, so I'm assuming that's it. Okay, so this is his top candidate. This is the one I can work with. It is. Excuse me. Fortinet. Hang on. Okay, what are we doing here, Young Yan? Do you want to be in log scale? I guess you do. Oh, you're giving me a weekly. And ARES are my top candidates. Gonna add or delete when I find what I'm looking for. Okay, let's go down to a daily. Let's get rid of. So, what is he tracking down here? Fundamentals. Okay. All good. When's earnings? Must be today. Nope, they were the 4th. That was last week. All right, so we've already had earnings. Okay, so we've got. Oh shit. Well, maybe that's the reason why he was on the weekly. Okay, so. Well, that's quite a correction there. I'd almost leave this. This looks to me like, oh shit. That's a fucker right there. Looks like triangle 5 there. So let's get the whole thing. 1, I'd be inclined to go 2 there though, but I'm not positive. Let's just get that here. This might be, so that's going to have to be internal. So let's take this down. So that's going to be too high. So let's go down. This is going to be internal. So this is going to go up here. This is going to go here. This is. Almost are stuck with that. We got a clear triangle here, and you see it's a pain in the ass. Let's go down. That might require a little more time. Let's see, maybe I've got inside within inside. That's a tough one you gave me here, Jan. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3. Let's put that in. That's good. All right, so how to help identify? Okay, we're 1618 to the tick. So can I get the internal to fly there? 1, 2, but then I got another 1, 2 here. God damn, I'm gonna have to push these up as we use it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has to. It looks like it's going here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. But it takes out that low. It's a bit of a pain. Let's get you up a degree. We're going to get there. That one might take a little more time. 1, 2. I want to put that 3 here. 4. Whew. Straight shot up to the 5. minuscule, tricky one. I might have to fuck with it a little bit more before I have a whole lot of conviction in that, right? So I'd have to work through each of these. I don't want to lose you guys with just boredom watching me try and figure it out. They said you should be. They're easy enough that it doesn't take a whole lot of work, but this one might take a little bit of extra work. Then it looks like 1, 2. So shit. Can I get that done? Might have to go A, B for again. I don't want to bore you guys to death here. So looks like possibly, right? That would be mighty shallow here. Okay, so can we use any Elliott channeling to help with some of that? I'd be inclined to be thinking something like this, although don't hold me to this internal. I might have to spend a little more time on that. It looks like we'd want this to come a little further. We'd want something like this to come down and get that started. That's what I'd be looking for. So, I don't know, you know, it's you're so far. Let's go back to the daily. This is a whole lot of schlop in there. Maybe you're done here. No, doesn't look like it because that's a new high. Damn it! Sorry, guys. This is a little iffy. That's the 3 here. Yeah, it's here. Shit. Bore you guys to death here. Something like that is going in here. Not enough there. I'd like it. I'd rather see this go do something like this than just drew it here. Right? So we're going to do something deeper like that. So this would be on my watch list. I don't think I would dive right in there and see if there's anything down here. Maybe you got it. This is going to be mighty. So we could probably get this done here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd want that to finish so I could lean into it a little heavier. But this, we're going to have a shallow 4 where we're not quite to the 23. There's not much there. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hurrying up here. Well, for me to take this, since this looks like it's already underway, because it's so shallow here. If it's me, I'd wait for some signs of a correction here to come back down into this structure before I anticipated that's going a whole lot higher. You get something here. Trying to get this. I don't want to lose an hour here. Okay, so it looks like we're underway here. This is just a big choppy. You're not quite. It's not clean, right? So it's not lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. You're getting a lot of chop in here, a lot of overlap here. So it's corrective. But as we come out of here, maybe okay. Right. So if it's going to be given the range of the 3, you'd anticipate a bigger 5. So 1, 2, I'd probably stay away from this until I got this thing finished and I came back right here. That's me. That's what I would do. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do or that's how it's going to fly, but this is just it's too shallow. And this could be ABC, right? That could roll over. If this completes the 5, then I think you could. Okay, well, there's your pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me the 3 back to structure. You can probably put something like that together here. Come back to this. Then I think you got a better. So everything I just did there is all in that same spirit of could I justify this to myself down the road? Like if I just kind of took a flyer there, maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't. But if it doesn't, if it goes, okay, you're patting yourself on the back, but you got to think if I'm wrong, right? And your first assumption should always be you're wrong, because you're going to be wrong more than you're right. So just to stay consistent in your own mind, don't assume, oh shit, I'm going to make a ton on this. Always assume, well, if I'm wrong, how much am I going to lose, and where am I out? So if I were to buy this and then we pull back down here, maybe I still like it, maybe I don't. I wouldn't have a dramatic amount of drawdown there, but I would feel like, oh, I forced it, I rushed it. That's me. Or again, now you could say, oh, well, why not take the 4 into the 5? Well, because this is too much of a chop monster here. So I'd rather say, okay, I'll let the 5 go. If the 5 completes, then we could complete up here, right? You don't know, but I'll wait for the correction, because then I can justify it. Say, oh, okay, well, there's the 1 of the 3 of the 5th. Could be the 5th, right? You're taking that risk. You're taking the risk. It's just going to go. For me, I can live with that. I'll wait, or wait for the trade setups that you like, right? I don't like that enough to pursue it, right? Not that it's not. I mean, young Jan, man, go for it if you like it. Just as I dig through all of that, that's what I would wait for. That's just me. Okay, so he's giving me one other here, ARES. So let me get back to that here. Shit, ARES. Okay, let's see what you got. Maybe that's a little bit easier to read. All right, so he's got, again, fundamentals down here. Giving me a weekly again. Well, if you're trading options off of the weekly, careful about that. You're going to have to pay for a lot of time. All right, so what are we doing here? Well, this looks similar. Okay, we can probably, just starting out simple. Looks like that's still yet to come. Let's go. Oh, set yellow. Maybe not here. I got a little overlap there. All right, so you'd have to do it as a 5. It looks like, whoa, hang on. Let's make sure we're not shorter in the 3. You got a 5 here. Double bottom. Yeah, we're good. All right, so 1 looks like a 5, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 leading diag. Although it's a little, it's not perfect, right? So you'd want. Let's just check here. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's not quite, right? So you'd want 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1, 3 is longer than 1. So you're okay, right? Again, Elliott's not perfect. That's as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's not perfect, but that's 5 swings, right? That's 5 swings. It's not a perfect leading diag. Elliott's not perfect. Don't expect it to be. Oh, this, does it really matter? I don't think it does, right? It's just a giant flat. With an expanded B would be my guesstimate. And then, okay, let's be consistent. So there's that off of the 1 with the expanded B. Algo's not going to care, right? Algo doesn't care about your Elliott count. Dominant to dominant. There we go. All right, so I can see an algo participated, but as an Elliottician, I'm going to count it that way. I'm going to consider this the 2. Okay. All right, let's come back in here. It's supposed to be straight. There we go. 2. Well, that's likely not 3. Looks like that's mighty deep. 707, although that's all wick, it looks like. Okay, so let's wick it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get these down. Let's put them in a different color. All right, so WXY, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it looks like you got A, B, C. 1, 2. Excuse me. Well, looks like that's 1. 1, 2. Looks like you got it. 2. This 3, 4, 5 could be much higher. Let's get this blue. Right, not what you wanted there. You might have to do it this way. A, B, C, because that looks like a pretty good 5 coming down. 1, 2, 1, 2. So that looks like a leading diag, right? It's it looks like a contracting diag, actually. Well, you got a couple of choices here. You could be thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which, just saying it out loud makes you think, wait a minute. The other thought is you're doing some sort of an ABC series here, A, B, C into a 1. So you're going to end this 5th as a diag. All of that overlapping price action here is just what you'd expect in a diag. Just out of curiosity, I would look and see if they're technical. That's a break. Oh, that's a wick break. There's a 50. How do we do here? Interesting, right? So we're breaking, so you got to go back a pivot. Not getting the target. This looks like it's interesting, right? So they're all overlap, breaking the golden zone, right? So you're doing alternating, makes me think diag. So it could be A, B, C into a 1. That's not a great looking correction. A, B, C, you need more out of that. I kind of come back to the same conclusion. Okay, right. Maybe if I spend another 20 minutes on that, I can come up with something I like better. Here, what can I see with certainty? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So we can certainly put a channel on this. So shit, looks like you can do it like this. You need some clarity, right? Don't feel like you got to rush a trade here. Okay, it's cooking. It's in the oven. I'm not sure what I'm going to get there. So don't force. You're anticipating a push much higher, right? To get 3, 4, 5, to get all of this to complete up here. This is very diag looking. God, do we have a possible contracting? 2, 3, 4. Let's just see here. It's shorter. You might have to do it that way. Maybe you got a contracting. So that's a possibility here. You guys nodding off, right? So maybe you've got something along these lines. But again, it's too many maybes. Too many maybes. Maybe 2. That might be a better fit. 3 shorter than 1, 5 shorter than 3. That could fly, right? So they're not the subdivision is not ideal, but we are out on a daily. So maybe you got a 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would, let's take that up a degree. So you'd have a candidate for another 1, 2 to be coming in here. Sometimes you got to work with them a little bit before it starts to show itself. That's part of the process. Let's put you in white. Okay, 1, 2. All right. If that were the case, if that's the 2, how'd I do here? Well, this is the first one where the algo held it. All right, we got a candidate for a 2 there. Looks like you have to go A, B, C as well. So it's a little, God, there's so much overlap in this. But at least now here, okay. All right, so if I'm gun to my head, I got to take this trade. All right, well, I'm not going to risk a whole lot because the golden zones have been breaking on each one of these. So maybe the most you'd give, a 707. Okay, 6.5 to 1. All right, can I put some geometry around that? Yeah, I sure can. All right, that's mighty. See, the correction with median lines, you need a little more time to pass. You'd really rather see this come out here than straight down here. Partly because it's too easy to get to do that. Right? So you'd rather have it spread out a little bit more. So you're putting the 2 in here, ideally, right, for median lines. That's just a free fall as well. I'll go to 4. Okay, maybe you got a little ABC there. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, You might have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. That may be what you've got there. It'll be here. All right, ARES, right? For anyone who's looking, right? If there's one couple to, I don't know that they're ripe at the moment, but these would be ones to have on your watch list, which just sounds like what Young Yan is doing, right? These are, because I always tell these guys, give me anything you're interested in, and we'll take a look at it and see if there's something there. This would be on my list. I wouldn't be running into a trade there. I like that a little bit better if it was lower. So good one. Thanks for those, Young Yan. Shit, I don't know if I. Sometimes when they're tricky like that, I kind of take you back to when it's most effective. It's pretty obvious. This was a little more. I mean, even that, right? That's just a free fall. But you probably have to do that, some sort of an ABC to make it fly, because that's certainly impulsive. This is the correction. So swing correct, a lot of overlapping. So this would be very consistent with kind of running out of steam here, right? So the bulls, right? All of this price action here is all of a sudden a whole lot more uncertainty. So if I've got to take this, I would take it here. I would not risk a whole lot. I'd be looking for that 3 to complete. So maybe give it a better target, assuming that's going to hold as the 1, 2. I wouldn't go for more than that if it's going to be a diag, right? So let's at least get to 100% there. All right, that probably went too long on that one. Okay, how are we doing down here? Okay, how am I on time? Okay, we're good. Okay, so Young Yan giving me one more here. Let's see what we get from him. Maybe something that sets up a little bit more ripe. Not that those aren't good posts. They're just, I don't think they're quite ripe yet. Okay, so I've got more charts. Check out Goldman Sachs bull scenario. Okay, so Goldman Sachs. Oh, come on, Trading View. I gotta copy that. Okay, that looks interesting. We've got a triangle coming out of that. I don't want to connect. It's a holdover from the brown belt work. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Free up some space. So we got Goldman Sachs here. Nice use of Elliott here, identifying the triangle. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Well, there's a good example of like this, basically just lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, right, all the way down. So you're kind of stuck with, okay, I can get a 5 in here, A, B, C into the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, ending diag, into the 5, A, B, C, D, E. Looks pretty good. Let's go down to the, oh shit, I want to go to the daily. It's very nice work, Young Yan, very nice. It's a 3 followed by a 3, right? So here we are, golden zone. Are you going to get out of there? Right on the edge. Is there a trade there? How much you want to give that, right? There's 707 right there. There's 786. 6 to 1 if you're giving it 786. Let's see what we got. Oh, probably you got an order block right here. Give it a little background. So if we break here, question, okay, so I'm in the golden zone, take this, right? That's a pretty ugly looking bar on the daily. And you come down, or you come down here. And if you take this, it's a very, very small stop, right? Yeah, there's 707. I wouldn't, with that kind of daily candle, I wouldn't be overly aggressive on that. That's not the candle. That's not the setup candle you want. I might just kind of watch, right? So if you get another day, let's see, can we reverse that? Yeah, interesting to see if you can get out of that. But down here, okay, same process. Right, here's the pivot. We know if it breaks that, right, the triangle starts to fall apart. But down here, I'd have, just using the geometry as the target, well, there's almost 7 to 1, 6.69 to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it's a series of, well, you'd have to do it as a diag. Excuse me, as an impulse. A little skinny on the 3. And so you can't get an impulse to fly here because you'd have overlap here. Let's see. Maybe you've got a leading diag here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you wouldn't have the. You have to do it this way. 1, 2, 3. Oh, here, let's label it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Possibly 5 here. So with an A, B, C, if this is going to go a little bit lower, well, that's kind of the same thing. Okay, well, let's see. I actually like it better down here. But you're right at the golden zone. So if we hold here, which is there any question about whether the algo is in Goldman Sachs? I guess not. So that's probably a decent little trade right there. Very low risk. Looking for there's 10 to 1. 10 to 1, right? I mean, your instinct is like, oh, that's a big down candle. I don't know that I want to buy that. Well, don't feel like you have to. Right? You can wait till tomorrow, see what that looks like, right? Maybe you get some sort of a reaction off of hitting the golden zone, but kind of back to where I started. You don't have to pick the turn. This is a daily. You go down to a 60. Get that. Wait for it, right? So it's the I don't want to miss it, right? It's the it's a little bit of you want the rush of being in the market and you want to not miss it, but okay, would you be able to justify that trade to yourself at the end of the month when you're looking back winners and losers? If this is a loser, okay, maybe you justify it because the risk reward was so good. The real question is, would you reload down here? Would you? It's not a great looking one, but at least we have something to work with here. I got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right? Here's the change of character when we free fall. Right? And you had CPI today, and maybe that's the market. Oh shit, market tanked. A, B, C. Be picky is what I'm saying. Don't force it, and then again, ask yourself, right? If I get stopped out here, am I comfortable with that at the end of the month? Saying, well, I took that, right? I had 10 to 1. I had good money management. Stop did its job. Okay, I can live with that. Comes down here. I'm going to reload down here. So I've got a plan A, plan B, plan C is reconsider the count. Stopped out twice. Okay, something else is going on. Well, real question is, do we take out that pivot, right? Because then the triangle starts to break. Until then, nibble. Or maybe, you might even nibble at it a little bit here. Put together a trade plan so that you could average your price in maybe 786. So if I bought a little here at the golden zone and a little bit here at this order block, maybe my average price is going to be right about here. I'm still going to use this as the stop, right? Because if we take that out, the whole premise breaks down. I've still got the same target. I've just averaged in my price. Again, that's a little nuanced, and you better really like the trade because essentially you're adding to a loser here to average down your price. So again, you better like it. 1, 2. I don't know that I like it that much. Is there a trade there? You got to decide if you like it that much. I think young Jan, see something he likes, and if this pivot holds, it's just a question of where's the entry. Well, one thing to keep in mind: you're looking for 3 here. Right? You're not looking for. I mean, you might get it. You never know, but you'd be looking for an ABC into that pivot. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the C, right? So don't be shooting for the moon there necessarily. At the very least, if you got up here, if you got up here, maybe a partial there, just so because the premise is you're going to come back, you give it all back down here. So that you get the benefit of what, and of course nobody knows, but you have a trade plan here that is. I mean, you might get a double dip here. oh, if this plays in the triangle, I'm going to trade the C of the D, and then I'm going to trade the E, right? So that would be the 4. You'd be trying to catch them again. You don't have to sit down here with the limit order, right? Get the 1, 2 of the 1 of the, right? Before that goes, right? So 1, 2, 3, because you're looking for the 4 to put in a pivot down here. Why give back half of it if you caught this, right? Where are you trying to take that trade? Right here. Because this, right, so once we get the 4, the premise is that I'm going to get a 5 here, not a 3. That's the assumption, right? So if it's DE. So if I get the 5, I don't want to give back 60% of it. I may at least take a partial here. Then, okay, see, this is, you can really milk an asset, right? Then, oh, shit, I'm going to take the 2 into the 3. So I caught the C of the D. I caught the 3, 4, 5 of the 1 of the 5, and then I'm going to catch the 3 of the 5. Right? So when you get an asset like that and it's playing good Elliott ball, boy, it's a very unfair advantage because you've got a roadmap here. Now, again, we don't know that it's going to do that, but you've got all of that laid out. So this could be a full campaign. A trade series like that can make your year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. Good stuff, young gun. Very good, very good. All right, so I got 3 more here. A couple of my superstars here. So here's Sensei. Sensei James M, right, who always responds when I ask for more charts. He's so good about that. But so apparently he sent me a couple of good wins lately, so he's having a good month. And it's funny, I asked him how the markets were treating him a couple of weeks ago. I said, I haven't really been trading that much. I haven't seen anything I liked. Because he's a guy who waits for his pitch. If he doesn't like anything, it's not forward. Shit, market's not going anywhere. All of a sudden, last couple of days, he's trading aggressively, and he does very, very, very well. Right. So when he gives you a trade, heads up. Okay. So we've got Bitcoin lower time frame trade he took last night, top right. So top right. Wait, did I copy this? Yeah, I did. Okay. So. Oh, shit. Did I copy it? Yeah, I did. Okay. Get off of there. Okay, so trade I took. But we dumped. Uh-oh. So skip my chart if you want. It's a good example of Elliott Wave, but we dumped. All right, so I know he was in a trade. I want to say he's top right. Right? He may have been stopped down there with this. Something is that. It's kind of late in the morning for that. The CPI news is already out, right? That's not CPI related. No, it's not, right? So that's just a random Bitcoin dumping. So he must have taken, here's the trade he took. I assume that either he took a partial or just got a break even stop there. So here was the trade that he took. Came back down hard, so I'm going to assume he took a scratch there. Too bad, right? Because it looked like that was off to a good start. It's a really creative way to get out of this mess here. So I mean, you can look at this and say, oh, God, what the hell is that? Or you can say, let's see if I can solve the puzzle. Right now, James is someone who loves the puzzle, right? So he's going to dig in here and let's say, okay, can we figure this out? Okay, well, there's 5 into an A. Jesus, I think we have is that an impulse? Oh, doesn't matter, right? It's not an impulse. Doesn't quite make it. A little bit of an overlap in the wick, but that's 5 swings. A, 3 into a B. Expand the B. So I got to go A, B. Now this gets tricky. A, B, C into a W. All right, so the A, B, C, right? That's what the 3 gives us the W. Ooh, this is some fancy footwork in here. Okay, so look at this, how he's getting there. There's the W. I'm going to put that in green so it stands out a little bit more. Let's take that up a degree or two. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. So we're going to go A, B, C. Pardon me. A, B, C here. That's the W. Then we're going to go A, expand the B into the C of the A of the X. I know it's a mouthful when you say it that way. Let me change that color so you can see a little better. Okay. So A, B, C into the A. A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X, A, B, C, Y into the B, and that looks like it's technical. All right, golden zone, 50. right to target. All right. So there's that one, right here, right? So first golden zone, can't get there, doesn't get the target, comes back, checks it. So shit, it's probably another order block right in there. Came down to the discount of it. Boom, up we go. We get target. All right, so that one is realized. Okay, then we got a leading dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C into the Y. Right, same order block. Getting tapped again. That gives you your B. So look what you just had to do there. Right? Again, he's very, very skilled to be able to read this. A, B, C. All right, that's some very sophisticated Elliott work, but it flies, right? The point is not, oh, look at all the whiz bang. It's valid. A, B, C, right? Now, okay, what did we just complete here? Well, given that, right, something wicked this way comes. All right, so likely you'd have to put it up here since, no, pardon me. Doesn't look like we did overlap. We did not. A, B, C into the 2. There's that. 1, 2. How much of a 1? Jesus. Well, it's a 15-minute. That's why. So Bitcoin coming all the way back. Like not uncommon. So 3. So if that's the C, so where are we? A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's kind of crypto specific, right? Where we just dump and retrace like that. I mean, does it happen in other markets? Oh yeah, of course. But that's massive liquidation, right? So this is one of the hazards of trading with leverage, margin, call it what you will, right? Likely, a lot of liquidation happened there. And we can look at that and say, okay, well, clearly all that liquidity was grabbed down here. So that's a deep grab. And as we come back, so people that were long are looking at this chart going, mother, right? I mean, so what would you do now, right? So something with the new lows here. Oh shit, where's my count? Let's look at his bigger count. Let's see. So he's got me. So he gave me. Let's go to a 2 hour. If we're getting any clarity here. A, B, now, okay, so now we're coming down for a B, candidate for a B. This is a chop monster, right? So you got here's another one of those liquidation wicks right here. Tend to get them, right? There's another one when we sell off. So very, very similar, down, damn near all the way back, down, all the way back. Okay, so we've got a candidate. So this would have to go down here. So we got a candidate for this to be completing. This is going to get we're going to get a little bit pushed here in terms of how far that can go. Trying to go A, B, C of the B before we go C before we. So this is kind of throwing a monkey in the wrench. Give me a second here. What have I got over here? This is my count, which, kind of following up from Friday. This was all kind of, what is it, right? It's kind of the same thing, right? So what are we doing here? It's just a whole lot of consolidation. It doesn't have a great 2 feel to it, but it looks like with the break of this low here, we've got a contender for some sort of the complexity that he put into it, maybe we're something like this, A, B, C into the B, and now we're coming, it looks like that's a 1, right? It looks like this is, I like it at 25, right? That's what I've been saying. Not that I'm right. It's just, this is where it looks appealing to me at 25 down here into the structure. So maybe this is a 1, 2, we go 3, 4, 5, something like that to get you into this zone. Why would I say that? Because all I'm doing is just swing high to swing low, right? That's where I like it, right into an order block, right into the prior congestion. I got a little around the edge of value here. I got a little high volume node. I got this consolidation. Are we getting there? I don't know, but it looks like maybe, right? We can look at all the complexities in there. I mean, he just showed you how complex that can be and how complex you can be with your puzzle pieces. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to simplify it and say, okay, well, the whole lot of clusterfuck went on in there. Yeah, right. Good. Can you solve the puzzle? That's part of it. If you can't, okay, can you step back to something higher and go, is it a 3? Well, half the battle is this a good 5? Because where's your 2 here? That's half the battle of this 3, 4. It looks like this is very 4-like, but I know one of the thoughts was we've gone A, B, C, and we were going to go. So maybe that's getting, if nothing else, you're eliminating one of the possibilities, right? Because this could go, a whole lot of ways that could go and be awful, right? You could just be terribly wrong. But we can kind of look now and say, okay, looks like maybe there's a 3. Now, it's possible we're done there, but it would be abnormal, right? So I'll sit down here and go, all right, well, if it's going to do that and we're going to go off, all right, let's just say we're going to go off. Okay, if this is going to be the low, well, next target is that pivot high. If we do that, right, you can see I've got alerts up here. Well, then I'm doing that. Because then I don't have to wonder about what the fuck is going on here. What is that? Okay, if I get an impulse out of here, I'm going to come back here and say, well, that was a bizarre AB triangle in a WXYZ, something exotic here. But at the end of the day, is it not just, can we not simplify it? Can we not just go A, B, C? Isn't right? Can't we do that? Well, you can. You don't feel like you have to get into this kind of intricacy to take a trade. I mean, he chooses that. He likes this, right? That's why he does it, because he's drawn to the puzzle. You decide how much detail you want in the puzzle. Oh, that was the one he sent me that was a big winner. How much detail do you want here? How much detail do you need? Is that it? Well, it looks like you've got a 5 that completed there, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3. Let's label it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so your first question is, why not that? Just out of curiosity. No overlap, right? That's things that don't happen randomly. Right? That is not an accident. A little abrupt for the 4, but then you had the CPI. So this is, what do you got there? Likely it's market manipulation. What do you have here, right? Grabbing all the lows. Note here, the order block here, it's just a wick that gets it. But what else do you see? How do we know it's an algo? That's how we know. Not this. I'm curious. Not too far. It's the reaction at the target. That's how you know it's an algo, right? It's not that, oh, there's a 50 there. It could be random. That's how you know it's an algo. Look at that reaction. This is going to be interesting. It'll be interesting on Friday when we come back here. Is this A, B, C? You can see all the complexity here. If you were trying to label this, you can see, oh, God, how diag here. A, B, C. Shit. I mean, you can tie yourself in knots trying to deal with some of the complexity. If you can, did I say if? Simplify it. I don't know that this really lends itself to a lot of simplification, but if we step back a little bit on it, is it a 3? Do I have a good candidate here? Do I have a technical low? Probably got an order block in there too. Oh, you probably use that whole swing down. Tap once, tap twice. We going? Well, if we're going, where are we going? Right? That high is. But we can look at this and say, well, if that's legit, well, that next up we're going to break that. So 31. I'm not saying buy it. I'm just saying you've got all the ingredients there. Oh, let's go to a 1. The same thing. Is that enough to be jump? Oh, fuck, I got to get long. Again, I say why do you have to pick the turn? Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Let's let it retest that low. Okay, so what have we done? We've just come right back to the POC. Now, do we keep going? If we do, okay, right? If you're long, right, you just go, go, go. Wouldn't that be a reasonable spot to potentially hit some resistance, right? We know, right? I mean, you just draw it out. Oh, wouldn't it make sense that bears would defend there? Not that they can hold it down, but wouldn't that make sense to where you'd say, oh, get a little struggle there, have a little struggle with bears, because what are they looking for? They're looking to sweep the lows, take it lower. Interesting. Okay, well, Bitcoin's all over the place today, so that's interesting. That's got to be, that kind of move has got to be news related or some sort of whale dumping. Something unusual happened there. Okay, let me keep moving here so I don't lose you guys. What did the market do? Holy smokes, really did tank. Okay, so next up I've got, thanks for that, James. That's really nice work in there. PK, PK. PK is my level 3 sensei, one of the best Elliotticians I've ever met. He's the one who corrects me most of the time. But he does it in a way that, like, well, you might consider an alternate here. He does it in a tactful way. Oh God, come on. Okay, all right, let's go copy. Here's one thing I know. We're going to see some good TA here. Or TNA, as I prefer to call it, just to make it less boring. Okay, so we'd be coming into, you're giving me a 4 hour, right? Now, number one, right, this is from a master Elliottician. He's giving me a 4 hour, right? 4 hour and above is where Elliott is most effective. Okay, can I finish down here? Yep, I got some sort of funky diag. Boy. Well, do you see how he's stuck with this, right? Because there's an impulse here. So how do I fit that impulse into what's come before? I can't, right? I mean, you might have thought AB, fuck, what do we have? WXY, something along those lines. You might have thought 1, 2. When this happens, right? Okay, well, can't be. So how do I deal with that impulse? How is he dealing with it, right? Again, this is someone who really knows how to make the puzzle pieces fly, right? There's your 2, right? There's your 3. You got a errant, it's a bullshit wick there. Well, I shouldn't say that. Somebody bought it there. So some sort of something funky happened there before we come down for the 5, right? So we get a little bit of a truncation there. Tiny little trunk, little junk in the trunk there. Okay. Wait, we can leave that, right? Okay, coming off of the low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1. Okay, this is a good example of just what I'm talking about. Okay. Here's the 1. Now, you wouldn't have known, right, that this was going to go expanded B into the 2. But so at this point, this is why there's benefit in let the 1 shape up and let's get the retrace into the 2. So think about it. If you thought this was the 1, is that going to be your correction and off we go? Maybe, but less likely, right? So when you see the 3 here, if anything, if you're long, you'd be very uncomfortable. If you're long here, are you stopped out? Maybe you're using pivots lower, but good example because you don't, get the 2. Five, A, B, C into the 2. Now, as Elliotticians, we can do it this way, right? 38. Well, algo doesn't care. Algo is just going to take dominant to dominant. It doesn't care about your Elliott count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't overlap the 1, right? It would be easy for a student of Elliott Wave to say, oh, shit, no, diag can't be because they wouldn't necessarily think to expand the B that way. Maybe they would, right? It's just an obvious 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me a 1. Oh, looks like WXY, right? Because you're finishing with a 3, so your thought would be WXY. No, almost doesn't matter. It's corrective, right? So it's impulsive followed by correction. Looks like it's a little shallow, right? This is quite a move. All right, we're only making 38s. 38 here was also shallow. 2, 1. Here, good work here. 1, 2, 3, little triangle. 4 squirts to the 5. Oh, looks like you got to go. Oh fuck. B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C. So this is irregular. Oh, come on. There we go. A regular count. if any of you is locking up on me. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is definitely unusual, right? So big ripper. Look how he clears it though, right? To the tick. To the tick, right? So it's valid. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is valid as well, right? So we don't overlap that 1 here, right? I know he wouldn't miss that, right? So even though part of that wick touches it here, here's the 4 because you've got some sort of a triangle into the 5. Down for the 4, we don't overlap. That's tick perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 5. A, triangle B into the A, right? You wouldn't have known. You would not have known. Oh, pardon me. He's giving us two alternates here. Could be an A, B. We're down for the C because we don't know yet here. Do we have is this a 3 or a 5? As he's showing you, right? Could be a 3, could be a 5. I guess I have to do it this way. It could be a 3, A, B, C, D, E, triangle B. Maybe. Let's see. We're right back into the consolidation. Call it an order blow. Oh, fuck, or where do we launch from, right? So we're right back to support. You can leave it that way. And additionally, what's the last piece of the puzzle here? Of course, we're going to want to see where the algos are. Right, here's your little pocket down here. It looks to me like he's just keying off of the consolidation down here as a potential, what do we call it, an order block or demand zone here. Clearly, that's where we launched from this. So do we hold here? Well, something that I know he would be looking for would be the relationship here, right? We'd want to see 100% would be ideal, but then you'd be breaking the golden zone. Here's what I do know as well. The algo wouldn't be pulling, it'd probably pull from this, pull from the lowest low, right? This is the lowest low. We don't get a new low here. So you'd likely pull from that. So you'd be, this would be mighty close right here. I don't know that you necessarily get to the 100. The golden zone might hold it, whether we're doing 5 or 3. Right, so that's kind of nice. So he's giving you 2 scenarios here. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to end up. So he's actually framed it out such that you would have to finish this way, since the extension would be in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then there would be an A, a B, and a C. If it finishes down here, same idea as before. We don't need to pick the turn. You don't need to. Let it show itself. Oh, can I get a break of structure? Can we break some lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low? Can I get a little bit? There's a little bit of a change of character, but show me something more meaningful. Give me this, right? Change of character, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Okay, well, now I can lean into the idea that I'm likely done here. Okay, is it likely to do this? Well, here's an example. If you were waiting, well, so you look here and you say, God, it's not going to just take off and rip in the 5th, is it? Would never do that. But what if it did? Oh, fuck, I missed that. God damn it. I wanted to take that, and that fucking guy on YouTube told me to wait. Well, did we not come back almost all of it? If you wanted to buy it here, you got all of it back. And if you took it long, you're going, oh, fuck, do I get out? What do I do? Shit, should I short it? Right? See, if you're just more patient, you say, do I have a 2 here? No, you might have thought that you did. A, B, C. Oh, 1. Can't have a triangle in the second, so I know that can't be 2. So I got something else is going on here. You got 100% of it coming back right here. I don't script these, man. I'm just here. Oh, okay. This is just the example. What I want you to focus on here is you can't be beating yourself up. Oh, fuck, I wanted to take that. I didn't take it. And now what are we back to? I woulda, I shoulda, I coulda. Nope. Okay. That one went off without me. Well, let's see if it comes back. Maybe I can get in at the exact same location. Maybe I can. So having said all of that, are you going to sit here with a limit order? I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying why? It's likely to come back. Give you a chance to get into it. Right? And when you're doing that, what's the one thing you have to remember? Right? So if we're doing it here, and that's my target, right? How does my money management look? A whole lot better, right? And that's just assuming, right? That's not assuming that I get the 3. Where's the 3? That's 29 to 1. How many of those do you need? Here's PK giving you a 29-1. It's like in your lap. That's your reward for sitting through this live stream, watching me work through some of these Elliott counts. The whole point is like, oh, maybe we get to something where there's something really juicy I can tee up here, and I'll put that on my watch list. And if I get that little pop and retrace, I can buy into an order block down here or at a golden zone here, and boom, boom, boom. Okay, geez, that was a hour I spent watching that live stream that paid off pretty well. But then ultimately, see, my goal is never to be like, fuck, I got to watch those live streams so I can know what to trade. That's never the goal, right? Our goal is so you don't need anyone to tell you what to do. If you're here, it's because you're serious. I want you to get to the point where you can go like, oh, fuck, that's all right. Here's what I can see. I see an impulse, and then I see a 3. Do I need to check with anybody as to what to do here? Oh, shit, I don't know. What do I do here? I got a 5 followed by a 3. What to do? Oh, well, let's see if I can get a little reaction out of there, and I take the first retrace. You don't need anyone to tell you that. But then we come back to, okay, can you account for your trade to yourself in your trading journal or whatever you're doing to document your trades, to learn from your mistakes? Can you come back to this and say, God damn it, I may have been stopped out on that, but I love that trade. I take that 100 out of 100 times. That's the goal. I don't have to think twice. I don't have to check with anyone. I don't have to ask my mom. I can just go, oh, shit, okay, boom. I see it. I've got the risk reward dialed in. I understand how much I'm risking. I know that if I get stopped out, it's not going to ruin my day, my life, or my year. In my day, my year, or my life. It's okay, stop. Got stopped. Get fucking used to it. You will get stopped out far more than you won't. Get used to it. Oh, you got to turn it into a positive. Oh, shit. Stopped at its job. Next trade. Oh, CN Salazar always comes through. He says, I'm swamped at work, but I got you a chart. These guys are really solid. Watch these guys. These regular posters in here, senseis, regular members. These guys have been, some of these guys have been with me for 2-3 years. They know what they're doing. So when they give you a setup, try and learn from it. Don't necessarily trade it blindly. Learn from it. Why is it a setup? Why? What's the rationale? Okay, CN. We got some fib fans here, which I don't use a lot, but I understand them. It's what do we got here? Golden zone of a fib fan. 786 of a fib fan. Well, so it could be he's adding this in because you see here we're breaking these pivots. Okay, so what do we see here? Okay, well, one thing we can certainly see is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, so here's where all of a sudden, potentially, I get a little change here. But if you were thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see. It's just, I know he's, all right, and I asked these guys. So can I get a diag here? It looks like 3 is longer than 1, 5 is longer than 3. So with the overlap, I've got a diag. That looks more like 3. Okay, there's 5, followed by 3, followed by. All right, what do we got here? Would you do this? Would you think that? Would you? I'm not saying don't. I'm just, is that what you would think? I'd be thinking lower. Oh, what else is there? Well, let's just, of course, right? So whenever you pull up a chart like this, you got to start saying, okay, now that I can just look at that and say, well, that's too far, right? So that broke the golden, right? We broke there, right? How about the next one? Well, there's to a 50. How do we do here? You got to check both, right? You got, because you don't know. We don't know what they use until we see the reaction. What did they use? What did they use? Did they use this? Well, we know this was a blowout pivot, right? So the sell side algo got stopped out right here, right? So then they're going to take the next one. They're going to use this. Does it hold? Yep. Target. Little reaction at the target. So I got 5 down. All right. Well, let's come all the way back here. It's iffy, right? They could have used either one. We know they used this one here, right? So we know they used it, right? So that's the criteria. Did they use it? Did the algo use it? Well, you know they're going to use the dominant, right? So does this 5, 3, okay, they use that one. Now, if I go here to this one, I can see that broke. Right? It's all wick, but still, you're talking yourself into it there. I'd go back one. Right? We know they use this for this one. This one broke, so you got to go back one. That's what the algo is going to do. Where's the target? Now, note also, right, when you're trying to piece this together, right, look, we're breaking, right? So it's advantage. It doesn't mean this can't do that, but the advantage is to the bears, right? Bears advantage here. They have the ball, right? They're breaking golden zones on the buy side. So advantage bears, A, B, it's technical. Whether you're doing it here, possibly it's a front run. You probably a little order block there. It's a little up, right, before it went down, right? So a little order block here, up on A, B. What am I looking for? I'm looking for 5. Again, it's not that it's impossible. It's technical. You're at a zone here that's just wick, maybe, but that would be the abnormal, right? More likely what's happening here. Again, there's no certainty. There's just probability. If this is a 1 and this is some sort of you can't have a triangle here, so we'd be anticipating something higher for the 2, for the 3, 4. Then you'd start to say, okay, well, if I put this all together, we'd be looking for some parity here. I'm going to get this. Oh, this is good. All right, so this held here. So this was the bull side here on this side. I'd be looking for this. Come here. Can I at least get 618, right? So 100 would be down here. You're back to the golden zone. Pretty good channel right here as well. And on this, 3 to the 5. That's pretty nice, actually, right? So here's the channel. Remember, a channel break like this, the assumption is you're going to come down and challenge this low, right? You're going to take out that low, right? That's Al Brooks, right? That's price action traders. When we break the channel here, we anticipate that a new extreme is put in down here. Now you're not there yet, but that's an ugly looking too. So if this is going, if this is going down here for a C, your first thought would be, well, that's probably not it. Probably not it. Look at the length of the A. Right, assuming that's going to hold as our A to our B, is that going to be your C? I think not. Again, I think not. Not that I know not. I think not. That would be very unusual. So that kind of leaves you like, oh, well, if it's not going to end here, likely we're going to retrace something. This would have to be an A. That schlop there would have to be a B, some sort of triangle bullshit in there. Okay, we're going to do something like that. Oh, pardon me, I got to redraw that. If this is the 1, some sort of A, B, C, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Bring you down here. I'm not getting that perfectly. There's your 100, right? Then you're right back down to the golden zone, and you got parity for Vanguard real estate ETF, right? So, my guess is he's looking at that since the general consensus is commercial real estate is in a world of hurt, right? So down it would go, something like that. Okay, what's the last? I'll probably put a channel on it along those lines, just like we had good channeling here. Down you go for the 5. Now, if it gets down here, are you buying it? God, I hope after 2 hours we're all in sync here. Oh, well, let's get a change of character. Let's take the retrace. If you do that, well, then you've got your classic, if I call it a head and shoulders if you want to, an upside down head and shoulders, call it an M pattern, depending on where that goes, right? There's your classic. So what's happening here? Right, we'll finish on this. Right, that liquidity is being grabbed because at every pivot there's liquidity. We know there's liquidity down here, so you can do the same thing here, right? So grab that liquidity, right? Because there's a shitload of stops down here. Everybody on the planet knows that. Swing back, right? There's going to be stops here. Grab the stops, right? Before we go back up, right? So all these people are like, God damn it, I thought that thing was going up. Then we go up here. You bait the longs in, retrace down. If they can't get the stop, right? I've said this 1,000 times. When you have a pivot like that, every time it's a push to get the stops because there's liquidity down there. If they can't get them, then likely this was the liquidity grab right here. Down here, they can't get them, right? They accumulate all of the shorts here, everybody, and then rip it long. That's what I would be anticipating here. And now you can take this all the way back to at the end of the day, all it is a big three. All we're saying here is this is what we're anticipating. Big three before we go back. 5 followed by 3. Okay, guys, that's all I got. I think we're done. I got to go back to working on the brown belt. I know Pizza Man. I say that for his benefit. I'm going to get it done. All right, guys, I think that's all I got. Much thanks to all of you that hung out with us. I appreciate that. I always hope you guys get a little nugget or two or a setup or something that you like here to make it worthwhile to spend your time here. I try not to bore you, but some of this can be kind of tedious. All right, so with that, I wish you guys a good afternoon. Thanks for